Before we start, I just want to say this is not a musical showcase. I'm not making this video to present this music in a favorable light. I'm simply showing how the music and the violence sometimes can go hand in hand. I'm not making an argument that the music contributes to the violence or vice versa, but I am just pointing out that they run parallel to each other sometimes. What we are seeing more and more with drill music is that a lot of these, quote, drill rappers are more than often becoming the shooters. The shooters are usually the one with the least hope of getting out of the situations that they were born into. Most violence is perpetrated by a small percentage of people. The chronic offenders theory says a small group of people, often just 5 to 10% of the population, commit the majority of serious crimes like robbery, assault, and even murder. First discovered by studies in the 1970s and confirmed by more modern studies, this pattern shows that crime isn't evenly spread. It's heavily concentrated among individuals who start young and reoffend repeatedly. Common risk factors for chronic offenders include early exposure to violence or trauma, lack of parental supervision or a stable home life, association with other delinquent peers, school failure or dropping out, substance abuse, and also mental health issues. Drill rappers often self-snitch in their music due to a mix of street credibility, artistic expression, and the pursuit of attention or clout. In a genre where authenticity is highly valued, detailing criminal activity, real or exaggerated, can boost rappers' reputation and sell the image of them being, quote, like that. Some use it as a form of storytelling or persona building, while others seek shock value or viral fame. In many cases, they underestimate how closely law enforcement is paying attention or simply don't realize that lyrics can be used as evidence in court. Whether it's calculated or careless, self-snitching has become a risky but common part of the drill rap landscape. No, it hasn't always been like that though. In the early days of hip-hop, like the late 70s to mid-80s, most rap was focused on party vibes, social commentary, and storytelling about life in the inner city, without openly admitting the crimes. Artists like Grandmaster Flash and Public Enemy talked about systemic issues, poverty, and police brutality, but rarely in a self-incriminating way. It wasn't until the rise of gangster rap in the late 80s and early 90s, pioneered by artists like NWA, Ice-T, and later Tupac and Biggie, that rapping about criminal activity became a norm. Even then, it was often stylized, metaphorical, and used to highlight the harsh realities of street life.
Got off your favorite team, without doubt. My life ain't rosy, but I rolled with it. My mind was fine till the dough hit it and told me that the mo did it.
Not necessarily as literal confessionals. The modern wave of self-snitching is more blatant, with some rappers practically narrating crimes in real time. Social media, streaming culture, and the constant pressure for authenticity and virality have amplified this trend. So while crime-related lyrics have long been a part of rap, the level of detail and the legal consequences have definitely escalated. For example, 50 Cent vividly talks about being shot and that whole situation, and also other street beefs in vivid detail.
Many men wish death upon me.
It's personal, but focuses on survival and his legend, not criminal confessions. Things started to take a turn in 2010. Bobby Shmurda's 2014 song Hot Nigga, he rapped about his crew committing murders and shootings, which prosecutors later cited during his case. Some of the lyrics directly match real events.
About a week ago.
Chief Keef made popular drill rap's raw, aggressive tone, often naming people, sets, and guns, blurring the line between performance and confession. YNW Melly's 2017 smash hit Murder on My Mind, though not a direct confession, the song gained massive attention when Melly was later arrested for double murder, causing many to retroactively interpret the lyrics as self-snitching.
I wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind.
The rash of drill rap we see today is unbelievably candid, revealing details, often with vividness that would put snitches to shame. Rapping about crimes and murders that people you call your friends committed, and sometimes you committed yourself, is becoming all too common. And we always have to remember that these are real people they're talking about in these raps, with real families that will never see their loved ones again. The cycle continues that the hurt from seeing your fallen friend dissed and mocked online will lead some of them to enact revenge outside of the justice system. Gun violence in Philadelphia has surged over the past 6 years, while the police department's success in solving crimes has dropped. In 2020, only 37% of fatal shootings were solved. Meanwhile, arrests for illegal gun possession more than doubled between 2015 and 2020, but the conviction rate for those arrests fell sharply from 65% to 42%. Between 2015 and 2020, the number of fatal shooting victims increased by 93%, with a total of 447 fatal shootings in 2020. This dramatic increase in fatal shootings outpaced the number of fatal shooting arrests made by police, which increased from 93 in 2015 to 146 arrests in 2020. As a result, clearance rates for fatal shootings declined from 41 to 37% over this period, as shown in the figure below. Even worse are clearance rates for non-fatal shootings. In 2015, clearance rates for non-fatal shootings were already low at 27%. As non-fatal shooting victims increased by more than 80% from 2015 to 2020, clearance rates continued to decline. The rate reached a new low point in 2020 when only 19% of non-fatal shooting incidents were cleared by the Philadelphia Police Department. This clearance rate translates to nearly 1,500 non-fatal shooting incidents for which no arrest was made in 2020. This doesn't go unnoticed by the young boys and other community members. If the cops can't or won't do their jobs, the streets take them into their own hands. And Philadelphia saw what that dynamic looked like over the pandemic, and it wasn't pretty. As we all know by now, Philadelphia saw record homicide numbers in 2020 and 2021. However, with initiatives taken by DA Larry Krasner, who took the gangs and shooters head on and became their biggest op, picking off drill rapper after drill rapper, locking them and their shooters up, and helping to clean up the streets of Philly.
O to the 4. Today we want to send a very clear message to the members of O to the 4. You like that name? How about go to the jail? Because that is where you're going to go. The same goes for the people they have been fighting with, the young bag chasers. The same goes for other people and other groups. So Pit Boys, Southside Stizzy, ZooGZooGang, P&B, Brickyard Mafia, Topsiders, 5th Street, 7th Street, Wilson Park, time is up. Or you're going to go to the jail.
We told you O to the 4. We said you're going to go to jail. O to the 4 is going to go to the jail. We said. Did you hear what ADA Palmer said? There's not much of you left. That's why you're starting CCK.
Backseat boys, CCK. That's the highest how I feel they had to hide every day.
Or you're in CCK. Well, CCK is going away. And as for 524, we're going to close your cell door. When it comes to Christy Wreck, you'll be getting your yard time when you're doing hard time.
BK got hit 25 times. He thought shit was sweet. Backseat boys, way before the feds, we was doing sweeps. 5 niggas died in 1 month. We on a whole street.
So think about it, because the time to think about it is past.
The DA showed the judge my pics and asked me why I got a gun. Tell the DA eat a dick, why I explain myself to him.
DA trying to count us out, put 100K up just to bail my shooters out. Bro, the 9 don't slide.
Had them running with they pole. They trying to hit us with the Rico. We got bodies and gold.
Ultimately, this case is about YBC. And YBC, sometimes known as the Young Bag Chasers, has a new name. I didn't invent it. Somebody else did. The new name is you've been charged, and the newer name is you've been convicted.
However, that doesn't mean that the streets are dead. They never will be, but they will always be alive.
7 days we hit that block, we call that hell week. It's up the block, you take a bike or you walk on feet. 9 to 5, lazy lack, we got different packs. FastBreak, head taps, tell them run from that.
Earlier this year, 17-year-old Noah Scurry was killed in Philadelphia. The news reverberated around the country and even overseas as people who covered the drill epidemic latched onto this story. How did this kid manage playing varsity basketball, maintaining stellar grades and academic test scores, but somehow be able to cause so much chaos and devastation in his community? This question would not go unanswered for too long. His gang ties and affiliations became more known after his death because right up until his death, no one really knew his identity. Since as far back as 2023, he was seen in drill rap videos, always wearing his Joker mask. But until he recently released a song called Swing the Door a few days before his death, no one knew who he was. Shortly after his death back in January, his street endeavors would be brought to light more publicly, like I said. As is the problem with drill rap, the murder of Joker would be spoken of with the most callous disregard and disrespect.
In the school, we in streets, that's why his dumbass got cooked. Left his head on his lap, it was supposed to be in them books. He had hoop dreams, but that shit got took.
That shit was sweet, but ever since they homie died, the odds was serious. To the yeah, we get down. Niggas who can come around, we got that doctor to the spot. He walked outside, who joking now.
Why they say we don't got switches and Drake, come on, stop. First time we caught noise playing dead like a pop. Made him leave out free, go to Pentown, you ain't a drop. He seen him come trap his gun, he got hit, they made him drop.
Also coming to light after his death would be his own disrespect and disregard for other young men and teens who lost their life.
Lil Ryan making songs, she need to come get back. Buddha Chan, pass me Gunner Man, but I want Lazy Lack.
9 to 5, Lazy Lack, we got different packs. FastBreak, head taps, tell him run from that.
Retirement right now, if I get to one round banks, I'm coming right back. Bitch keep talking about FastBreak, dicky and niggas that don't even try to get back. Sex fat, Dizzy had died, why the fuck would he lack? Bounced out on a nigga, he got hit in his head. I'm calling.
If any story shows how karma is a bitch, this is a prime example. Noah Scurry was shot and killed outside his home on January 14, 2025. He was leaving with his mother to go to Samuel Fells High School when he was gunned down. The pain Noah's family felt that day, while extremely sad, was a continuation of the violence and pain Noah allegedly perpetrated and mocked others for. In 2022, Noah, or Joker, was shot at allegedly by FastBreak or M24 members. On a balmy May night in 2023, Noah, along with 2 other teens, were targeted to be killed. However, a 66-year-old man was caught in the crossfire and would lose his life. This night would change the course of Noah's life forever. After losing a handful of friends to gun violence already, Noah decided he wasn't going to be a victim in the city of Philadelphia. 90 to 95% of kids in this situation will fall back from their friends with gang ties, focus more on school, and basically wave the white flag or try and become more cautious moving around the streets. There is common framing that, quote, culture is the reason for the violence. That framing insinuates that black people have a culture of violence, when in fact, in my opinion, the current levels of violence is a fight or flight reaction to the trauma. This can be a trauma response to life in general, especially if you live in a war zone. Carrying a gun, oftentimes illegally, can be a matter of life or death. Most people come to the correct conclusion that law and order has a place in society and vengeance is a temporary solution to a permanent problem of trauma, hurt, and loss from losing friends and loved ones to gun violence, and in Noah's case, being shot himself. Noah, or Joker, was his rap name and could be heard in his raps frequently mocking the deaths of M24 members Fat Dame and AJ, or A. John Jackson, as well as the death of Twin 5, real name Justin Porter. As Noah didn't claim any particular gang, he was close to a group from Longcrest called the Whackers/Pavement Boys, and also he was cool with people from the Certified Clappers, or Double C's. The Whackers and Double C's both have beef with M24/FastBreak. As you can see, with all the mixes of groups and affiliations, things can get really messy really quickly. Noah also had connections to Too Solid. Too Solid, who are from the Northeast as well, is a group that gets blamed for the death of Harley. Even though the shooter in that case has been arrested, violence over his death still persists. Harleyville is a set from the Northeast near the Max Myers Rec Center in Oxford Circle. They blame the death of 11-year-old Harley Ballant on Too Solid, like I just said. Even though the killer has been arrested and charged, the death of Harley and the fallout from it reverberates to this day.
What do you think, bro? This your shit, bro. This your passion. You wanna keep doing this shit, you do this shit.
Harley wasn't alone that day when he was killed on his motor scooter. He was with a kid who was 13 at the time and who was also shot in this incident, but he didn't die. He would continue to rap and rep the death of Lil Har, as they called him.
Has surrendered to police for the deadly shooting of an 11-year-old Philadelphia boy last Friday night. In addition, Action News reporter Christy Aletto has spoken to the boy's grieving parents. Christy is now live at police headquarters. Christy?
That's right, Jim, and they're still trying to process all of this, understandably so. Their cries for justice only growing louder tonight. All of this as the alleged shooter spent the evening being questioned by detectives.
I feel like I don't have any words.
Still trying to make sense of her 11-year-old son's murder, Surette Ballance speaks from the front steps of her Oxford Circle home.
I cannot imagine why 11 years old get killed, because it's a child.
Her son Harley was riding a scooter with a 14-year-old friend on the 1500 block of McKinney Street when shots were fired Friday night. The 5th grader was fatally hit in the neck, his friend in the arm and ankle, the gunman allegedly firing from the sidewalk. Police say 19-year-old Khalid Cooper Baldwin, who was wanted for Harley's murder, turned himself into police late tonight.
What do you have to say to the man responsible?
I don't know. I really don't.
Harley, who is now one of the city's youngest homicide victims, was remembered by family and friends over the weekend. His parents say he enjoyed going to church, helping out those in the community, and playing hoops.
He shoot all the time playing basket. And I used to stand behind him and playing. You know, it was a very, very, I mean, he was, I just asked justice. Justice for my poo-poo. I need justice. I need justice for my son. I cannot hold that.
The roots. We don't like them niggas. You gon' get it too if that's your food. Niggas die for saying Harley, nigga think that shit a joke. Speaking on Lil Harley is the quickest way to die.
Lil J, who I mentioned earlier, likes to be very specific with his raps and the things he references.
New at noon, Philadelphia police are looking for a killer after the city's latest murder in Oxford Circle. This is Chopper 3 over the scene on the 6400 block of Loretto Avenue. Police telling Eyewitness News they found an 18-year-old man shot several times inside of a car just before 9 o'clock this morning. He died at the hospital a short time later.
After an 18-year-old man died after being found shot inside his car in Northeast Philly, Lil J rapped.
That new pack that like behind the woods, vacuum seal when I'm betting on the ops. I like old behind the wood, bro, she taking it to trial. He don't wanna do the deal. When he come home, he try and run it up and touch a mill. When I tap the button, I told school, it's an instant kill. I think Bushy going crazy, he put a button on the mill. They say how we flip that Malibu, we lopped him through a. I told them they bring that yo. If I was BGC, I would've called a B, they made a disc. I can't die inside a car, I can't ride without tent. Every in my camp gotta be alright. We don't step and raise like what you hear about leg behind the V. I can't be leg behind the V. When the bulls lane, I get it going, just watch it and take. Throwing GD, throw it off. All they wanna do is drill, don't talk that body shit with us. They know who put on for the every nigga in my camp gotta be a 10. Why y'all throwing up them beats? Y'all ain't catch a beef for shit. BD top true, he say he see I be getting sent. Ever since Lil Harley died, we been in every since.
How you lacking, nigga, and too solid, what you claiming? They know what's up, but every nigga that be in my camp. Too solid can't talk, we knock that nigga out his veins.
Philadelphia police said officers found Levon Kennedy with gunshot wounds to his head inside a Chevy Malibu on Loretto Avenue near Levick Street in Oxford Circle in March of 2022. Kennedy, who lived near where he was shot, died a short time later at a nearby hospital. The violence in 2023 and 2024 in the Northeast was in part perpetuated by a select few groups. A-Boy or Aiden Waters, LR or Lil Ryan, and the now Bugs or Nally of FastBreak were charged in the February death of Chris Dowling, a close friend to the Pavement Boys, even though he wasn't the intended target that night. Dowling's mother, Ivory, said her son was studying finance at Tennessee State University, but had returned to Philadelphia after experiencing a sickle cell disease flare-up. He was living with his grandmother in the Logan section of the city, working on improving his health and serving food at a food bank, his mother said. Aiden Waters, along with LR and Nally, were charged in Chris's death. Aiden Waters was also charged with 3 other murders, including having a connection to the murder of YBC Duel in August of last year.
Switch when we been, we boxing sitting from both ends. Inside the Drake when the shit start dumping. 200 plus when we come to the function. Bounce out the back of the V, drop 100. Get up on him, he ain't even have his burner. Big fat shit, more respect, I earn it. Niggas ain't never bounce out on shit. Nigga, when Chris died, we had niggas all on the gram throwing flags and calling it quit.
Spoke on BM and Pop got popped, ain't hard to find these niggas. Still dropping this, ain't learning lesson, now somebody else gotta go.
Oh, she gon' pick it up. How the fuck you try to slide and hit your folks, you better pick him up.
Pound-Side Pop has been a staple in the Philly rap scene since around 2017. With hit songs like OSS and years later Hood Hopper with Skrilla, Pop has been consistently in the conversation, especially since the drill aspect of rap in Philly started to blow up.
All my niggas on some shit, boy. Got that thing up on my head.
Like Trap Street Sadi before him, Pound-Side Pop brought a different style to his raps that resonated with people outside his immediate circle. Over the years, Pop has developed a dedicated fan base. He developed his own unique sound with influences from Young Thug, Lil Uzi, and Trippie Redd. Check the comments of the video of OSS, his biggest hit to date, and you'll see he has fans all over the country. Born Aziz Smith, Pop grew up in North Philly and represents 25th and Master. They call that block or area Pound-Side. Pop was always a nickname for Aziz, and when he first started rapping, he went by Pop G's. He played high school football for Benjamin Franklin High, and he was a pretty good defensive player. From his highlight tape, he looks fast and aggressive. For reasons only he can answer, he didn't pursue his athletic career any further and started to do music. Due to the area he grew up in, which was already littered with gang violence, Pop is a product of that environment. Pop and Trap Street Sadi were both into music at an early age, but choosing rap as a career wouldn't come until later. Sadi was killed in 2017, and the course of Pop's life changed forever. Everybody was cool with Sadi, and his movement created JoG-ZooGang in honor of their fallen friend. The streets are a lie, and Pound-Side Pop fell right into the trap. While he moved out of Philly years ago, he always came back for the drama. Like I said, Pop had the hit OSS in 2017. He could have carried off that momentum and capitalized with the right strategic moves. Pop's inability to maintain relationships have been what many people see as the reason his career never really took off. In 2020, the Zoo was gang warring with the Black Flags heavy over the death of Sadi, and later Cha Glizzy. Cha was killed in 2020 and is the main one who bragged about Sadi's murder. A lot of shit happened in between. If you want more details about this, I recommend watching these vids. In 2020, in the midst of all the violence, he let his personal relationship with Meek Mill fall apart.
So you're an upcoming hot rapper in Philly, and I'm gonna be honest, on an industry perspective, when people heard the 20,000 might have been a little bit low.
A little bit. I'm signed right now, eh?
They didn't give you 20 grand, did they?
You think I would be signed?
If you ask me, it's not the upfront money. It's the, if you want to take all my shit and own it. Yeah, that's the problem. You get what I mean? Like,
that's the problem. Yeah. And then you didn't even call me and try to like, oh damn, well damn, you don't like that? We could do this. You feel what I'm saying?
How did that situation even get started? Did y'all have a relationship, and how did that play out?
Yeah, we had a relationship. We used to talk on the phone relationship. You
really?
See what I'm saying? Yeah, really. I was in LA. You see what I'm saying? I was in LA already. Ain't nobody take me out the hood. I was already out the hood. You see what I'm saying? I got with management, Jay Irvin, and Human Resources. You see what I'm saying? And I was in the studio, slaving. You see what I'm saying? But I'm out there. You see what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You feel me? So now I can get a feel for it. You feel what I'm saying? But it used to be the phone. Used to be everything. Used to be out there. He used to call me. I used to link with him when I'm up there. Type shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like I just said in this last interview, it was just all on Instagram. Like we ain't go to no Diddy parties and all like that.
Oh yes. No, you gotta say no at them Diddy parties.
Nah, we ain't do none of them type parties. You feel?
It's more like a Philly party. Like this is good vibe.
Yeah, but it was like a big mansion though. You feel
yeah.
Take the golf cart there, all that type shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's not like my first experience. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate it.
Then in 2023, Pop started to get his momentum back. With the unfortunate death of Man Man in 2022, Pop's name was being mentioned all around that situation, especially since he had a relatively popular song with Man Man just weeks before his passing. He also did a song with Skrilla in December of 2023, which I mentioned earlier, which saw Pop get more views since OSS in 2017. But
bitch, how with Big Zoo where the camper CCKO to the floor.
Gonna let it rain on. Jump up out that V, I shoot him with my chain on.
But for some reason in September of 2024, he was on IG talking shit to Skrilla again. His inability to maintain relationships with major artists inside his own city shows that Pop might not be cut out for the music industry at large. He probably knows that and is okay with that. Not everyone is cut out for the music industry, but that's not why he's included in this video. This series takes a look at how rappers self-snitch on themselves and music through their lyrics. And the incident in question wouldn't be known about by anyone if these guys didn't talk about it in their music.
When he heard the pound, I hit a nigga in the shooter, made him spin around. How I ain't smoking pop, my shot ain't sleep drop. We put 50 in that Chevy, left it smoking hot. I jumped out with a blue beam, spaz had a yacht.
Nine Side is a group of rappers from Southwest. Nine Side Ree has been their most popular rapper for a while. They're clicked with YBC in their war against CCK. Lil Bucks, Sonny Goon, and others from CCK are tied in with ZooGang. I don't even know if that particular beef is the reason Nine Side and Pound Side Pop are going at it at the moment. Besides Ree, LR or Lil Riz and Lil Jizz started making noise in the underground drill rap scene, in part due to their role in the highly publicized CCK vs YBC war. In any case, Jump Out BM started making some music as a, quote, crash out drill rapper himself in 2024.
Say nigga that sings Ebo name, say nigga still ain't getting up. That nigga said he bung on who? That nigga poppin'. He pop that shit to you, but not to me, bro. That's my cousin. Catch him on the worst side. We got him wishing that he wasn't. They like jump out while you robbing. Probably did that shit for nothing, right? Man, can't turn. We can really show you how to step. Come through bombing on they block, so many ops and got left. He was dissing on the bros, he cracked fools and he checked. He was trying to be bold, he dropped lows and got wet.
These, quote, crash out drill rappers seem to get the most fanfare and attention. BM was seen with Black Flag members and also Nine Side members regularly before his death. In April of 2024, 19-year-old drill rapper Jump Out BM was killed by friendly fire on a drill. I also have a whole video about that situation. I don't think I mentioned in that video that the block BM was trying to slide on was Pound Side Pop's block, 25th and Master. Who exactly was on that drill is for the cops to figure out, but until the incident we're here to talk about started to be mentioned in songs, it was quiet. 7th. As the other three amateur steppers began to shoot wildly and undisciplined, Jump Out is hit, seemingly by his own group. Black Hoodie is the first to recognize that Jump Out is hit before he even lets off a shot. Green Hoodie is the first to stop shooting. The three are in shock. Green Hoodie, who was originally the front passenger, runs back to the car to pull off, but when the other two don't follow him, he changes his mind. They can't lead their man. They are panicking. In the commotion, Green Hoodie tries to throw the car in the park but accidentally leaves it in neutral. As the three run to scoop their fallen friend, the car slowly rolls down the street. They get Jump Out BM in the car and pull off. This is one of the most embarrassing and sloppy drills I have ever seen on tape. It shows the recklessness and stupidity of some of these shooters out here today. Everything is wrong with this. They were sloppy, undisciplined, nervous, and just too hyped. Shooting blindly down a block. Who knows who was down there? In the end, all they did was kill their own friend. Someone has to look his mom in the eye and live with this mistake. I don't show this for shock value or because this is a thing I think is cool. I show this because each person watching this right now has a decision to make every second of their life. Even if you are knee deep in drama, or maybe you were some of the people being shot at in this video. It does not have to continue. Blood being spilled and having to bury your folks is heartbreaking. PTSD, and especially the type you get from living in a war zone, is an understudied problem. Post-traumatic stress disorder is more prevalent in U.S. inner cities than in returning soldiers, and up to 1/3 of children living in violent urban neighborhoods may have PTSD. Violence in American inner cities can create warlike conditions, and the resulting trauma and PTSD is less understood than that of veterans returning home from war. Pop dissed Jump Out BM when he said,
"We gon' throw that Glock right on the floor, she gon' pick it up. How the fuck you try to slide and hit your folks, you better pick him up."
Then, according to Nine Side members, they apparently shot or shot at.
Slide. Murder business, we been on a block for 5 days straight. Next time we take that trip out north, we might equip the Drakes. I lost BM, shit fucked me up, I charged it to the game head. Who the fuck is these North niggas claiming that it's beef? Last time we stood out north, had niggas running with they heat. But I don't like to get dressed, we dress niggas up.
I don't need no button cause my shot golden. We bent the block and let it rain and left pop soaking. I made them niggas feel my pain just for all that trolling.
We jump out, bro, go this way, and I'ma take this way. We got every load from Pop's crib to Granny's where he lay. Ain't take a loss since 2021, it's 2025. Every time we catch a Vic out north, they running for their lives. Spoke on BM and Pop got popped, ain't hard to find these niggas. Still dropping this, ain't learning lesson, now somebody else gotta go. I don't need no help, but do it by myself, them niggas know. True BM got shots, say Nate, that show you won't play. That nigga this, we made him feel a switch, he should be dead. All these buttons and these yaps should feel like the cartel. They passed a drop, but she got dropped, they sent his ass to hell. Almost caught a drop on their drop, or say they seen he fell.
On that block, we jumping out a 2-on-1. Spanking niggas ass, I'm not no dad, I ain't got no fucking son. Swing all the drops over here, cause you know we gon' get it done.
How I ain't smoking pop, my shot ain't sleep drop. We put 50 in that Chevy, left it smoking hot. I jumped out with a blue bean, spaz had it.
Nolan BM, he love to jump out and just swing his belt. When them jump outs on your ass, no, you can't scream for help.
Stay in school, stay out them streets, cause you could die, kid. Pussy rap with this, now he might die for fucking with the shit. Ain't no way that we could fucking lose, you know we with the shit.
Like how you say you with the zoo, but you ain't for us. Like how you say you with the... They tryna assassinate 5, yeah, bitch, I feel like Trump.
When we pull up, got 100 shots, we Gucci gang like...
As you can see, I don't have to do much explaining of the situation as the raps speak for themselves. Luckily, no one has died from this so far, and hopefully it stays that way. Telling in your songs I thought would be a thing of the past, seeing as how many people have been arrested and sentenced to football numbers recently during this latest drill era. But unfortunately, we are seeing the same cycle play out over and over again. Some say it'll never stop, but hopefully seeing these videos will make people stop being so explicit in their songs, because if I can put shit together, you know the cops are 10 steps ahead of that. I'm gonna leave it there for now. Thanks for watching American Confidential, and until next time, be safe.